All right, so you've got the Blackleg Miner EP out. I believe 5 songs on there. I was listening to it. I listened to it a few times. Just kind of put some notes down. I mean, obviously, a very kind of classic rock, hard rock.
Yeah.
I was getting Van Halen, Black Sabbath, Motley Crue, Def Leppard vibes.
That's definitely what we're going for.
Steppenwolf.
So the first song, Tequila No Mo, classic drinking song, definitely a bar anthem. What's the story behind that song?
These are going to be questions for this one.
Here we go.
Wow.
Hey, wait a minute. Put your 13-year-olds away.
That's right. Well, I would say most of the songs have some autobiographical element in them. And of course, the song tells a story of a certain individual who may or may not have been under the influence of alcohol, getting into some legal trouble, and his lovely young Hispanic girlfriend, who may or may not have been there at the time, basically refusing to bail him out, and then the individual stated he was never going to do it again, drink tequila, but what did he wind up doing?
Yeah,
Drinking tequila again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of the story behind that song.
Nice.
She gave me the bottle, Sheriff. Not my fault.
So you got the song "Kiss All Night." It's kind of like to me, like your kind of sexy rock anthem.
That one's a
Tell
catchy
me-
one. I always thought that was a catchy one. From
I
the
want to
first
know
time I
the
heard it.
story. I want to know the story about the song "Don't Not Do That"
Yeah.
because it took me a few times just trying to get the name down.
So
Yeah.
that's a question for me. So, well, it is true. This man, CJ, does most of the writing. I do occasionally come in with some guitar stuff and be like, hey, this is kind of cool. Like, could we make a song out of this? So we have 3 or 4 songs now where I've kind of done a good bit of the guitar. And then we kind of built around that. That's usually the process. I mean, even his songs I take and I'm like, no, I'm going to change this. I think it sounds better this way. And eventually we come to the collaborative product and it sounds great. So he said when I first joined the band, this was maybe, I'd been here a couple of months, just kind of learning the songs that were already written, that we needed a song that was upper tempo and had kind of a moving riff. And what was the song? It was an AC/DC song, you told me.
I said, go listen to an old AC/DC song called Beatin' Around the Bush. And we need a kind of snappy riff like that.
And I listened to it, and I got my guitar out and got in the zone, and that is what I came up with, the moving guitar part on that. Brought it to CJ and said, do we like this? We liked it.
Hell yeah.
And over time, we kind of came through different evolutions of it. He ended up writing lyrics. I wish I could write lyrics. I'm trying to learn from the master. But my lyrics all sound like, 5th grade love poems. They're just, no. Let me play what a guitar. That's what I'm good at.
Perfect. Tell them where the title of the song came from.
Well, the lyrics
What
of that
goes on in this room and the title.
the lyrics of
He
that
came
song.
up with the hook. I'm sorry, but you had to put the rest to it.
Yeah, the lyrics came about because there was a former band member who had some various lyrics and guitar riffs and stuff that he wanted to collaborate on. And he would say things to me like, just sing it your way, come up with your own melody for some of these words that he had. And I would do that and come up with guitar riffs. And a lot of times he'd be standing over on the other side of the room while I was playing. He'd be going, and shaking his head. And I'm like, what did you think? And he'd say, I don't know. And I would say something like, well, what do you want, in terms of a melody? And he would say, well, not that. He was a guy, in my opinion, who... There are some people in life who are happiest when they're bitching about something.
But never satisfied.
And he seemed to be that. He definitely was more focused on problems than solutions. So and he would never give me really any kind of guidance as to what he would want. He said, well don't do that. And so I just came, and he used to tell me, you got to sing with conviction. Well, what do you mean? Well, not like that. So that's where the line comes from. Do it with conviction. That's what you demand. No interpretation. I don't understand.
Nice.
And when I heard that to the guitar part, I was like, love
then
it.
when you-
And it just
When it-
became what it is over some
And then
time.
when he came up with the hook, you would tell him, "Don't not do that."
Right, because I liked it.
Don't
I would
not do
say,
that.
did you
And
hear?
then it became the title of the song.
Right.
Of you telling him, "Don't not do that." What you did there, don't not do that again.
Yeah, don't not do that.
It came out pretty cool. It was a cool riff.
Fucking A.
So I know a couple of you guys weren't part of the group yet when this EP was made.
Yeah. Me and Bo.
But I mean, I assume you guys have been playing these songs
Oh, yeah.
live.
Oh, yeah.
The next song, "Go for Your Life," I noticed had some really groovy bass parts going on it. The song kind of reminds me of "Running with the Devil" a little bit.
Yeah.
But is that a fun song to play?
I like it. It's a cool song. I mean, I add my own little flair to it, but I basically keep it the same, I mean, all the songs on the EP I think are great, but
Yeah.
that one, yeah, it's got a nice little drive to it with the, the bass.
Maybe a little Motley Crue.
But there are some you've come up with really cool riffs too that you guys haven't had a chance to hear yet.
Yeah.
Unless you've come and seen us live.
Yeah.
Where you completely authored it, like Shots Fired in Anger, which is going to be a song that might be on an upcoming album that we might be working on, may or may not be. I don't want to confirm or deny.
It's
But,
coming out next season.
Yeah, it is simultaneously one of it holds down the groove, but it moves at the same time kind of bass line. It's good. It's good bass line.
That's one thing I like about working with CJ and Matt and now Bo.
This guy.
It's they do give me my own creative freedom. Yeah, they'll might suggest this or that, and fuck you, but but no.
We don't dunk them in the toilet and then
Yeah.
bring them back into
Yeah.
the band room. It's not one of those.
No, but
Yeah, we don't bring him back.
I get the creative freedom that I like, and then if I do have any questions about something, I'll say, hey, ask for suggestions, but yeah, it's been fun with them.